The immigration problem now in New York and elsewhere is exploding. And this plan by Governor Greg Abbott of Texas and others along the southern border to ship migrants north is working. New York City is at its breaking point. We've had over 100,000 migrants come in over the past year, illegal migrants from all over the place. And I've been talking about how all these kids, now 20,000 of them, are going to the New York City public schools as of yesterday. And half of these kids, at least, don't speak English. So they're trying to find desperately Spanish-speaking teachers, but it's not just Spanish. These kids are coming from all over, from African countries, and there's a new mandate from the Department of Education that each school just kind of deal with it on their own, but they have to have at least one person at the school who can speak whatever language is now represented at their school. So you got to run. I mean, it's like basically you got to move in over at Rosetta Stone and try to find a little AI person who can speak Swahili for every new migrant who comes in who happens to speak it, even though these kids are unvaccinated. And I don't just mean COVID. They can go to the schools without the MMR vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, any of them. Meanwhile, my kids and your kids 100% have to have all of those just to step across the schoolhouse door.
Megyn, this is the thing of it in our country. We have gotten so far away from actual border policy that most Americans on left, right, middle, doesn't matter. They couldn't stomach what actual border policy should be. Most nations in the history of the world understood you stop people at the border and don't allow them in. And it's not just, well, what about the felons? No, all of them. None of them are allowed in. That's not
It's Australia. That's what Australia does.
Of course. It's not mean or evil. Look, it doesn't look wonderful. It's not something you celebrate, but that's the way to preserve a country. And honestly, I'm thrilled at what's happening to New York City, not because I wish ill on New York City, which I love, as you well know, Megyn, because it finally takes an issue that southern states, the border states have been suffering from forever, and it finally puts it in front of the media so they're forced to cover it. What New York City's going through right now, that's Texas. That's Arizona. That's Southern California. That's New Mexico. That's what it is. There are places, Megyn, I'm 15 minutes away as I sit here right now from a place that has an entire wing in their K through 12 school, an entire wing just for Spanish speakers because they have so many freaking illegals in the school. They just had to build a whole new wing for them in the school. Sane countries do not do that. You don't bring in everybody who shows up and house them and feed them and medical care and education. They're giving them freaking Xboxes. One dude I read from Venezuela, he gets specialized Venezuelan cuisine every day. Not only do we not send him back, we say, come on in. We'll make you your pupusas or whatever you want fresh for you every day here in this country. That's not a country that is going to continue existing, Megyn. Our border policy it's insane to me. It drives me nuts.
There's a story today. I used to live on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. There's a story about how there's a hotel up there on 70th on the West Side where they'd been housing all these migrants, including mostly single men. Great. That's exactly what young families who live on the Upper West Side, a bunch of single male migrants moving in from God knows where. So now all these families have migrated in illegally, allegedly seeking asylum. And under Trump, at least, they had to prove that they had tried to seek asylum someplace else before they came to, like, you crossed through how many countries before you tried to seek asylum here? Why didn't you seek asylum someplace else if you were really fleeing conditions that were so bad, right? You would have gone to the first country you could. No, they all want to be here. It's here. So if it's just about here, it's a preference. It's not a true asylum claim. In any event, they had to kick these guys out because the families were taking over and they wanted to move them into the hotel. And the men got moved to Randall's Island, which is where our kids had to play sports for a long, long time because there are no athletic fields in Manhattan. You get there. This is my favorite Doug Brunt story on Randall's Island. He walks in with his buddy, they were coaching our kids when they were young. And our friend Jonathan goes, my God, it's so beautiful here. Look at these amazing fields. Why don't more people? What's that? What's that? It's right by a sewage treatment center that just, it reeks to high hell of sewage. This is how your kids grow up in New York. Anyway, my point is the migrants are pissed. They're mad that they're moving from the Upper West Side to Randall's Island to continue their free housing and free meals there because they preferred the beautiful hotel on the Upper West Side, Jesse.
Megyn, that's honestly, it's embarrassing for me just as a patriot what our border policy is, what our immigration policy is. It is embarrassing because we are so disrespected by other nations, as you just pointed out, by the illegals themselves. And we deserve that disrespect. That's the worst part of it. It's not just It's not that guy. It's that guy has every right to go complain about that the fields aren't okay and my meal wasn't hot enough and this and that. He has every right, because in this country, our politicians, Democrat and Republican, are so pathetic and spineless and weak. They don't want to do anything to actually stop these people. Even Republicans don't. They always pretend they do, and they don't. The best you can get out of some loser Republican, some low-T GOPer today, the best you can get out of him is, well, we should definitely deport the criminals. They're all criminals. The men, women, and the kids, they're all criminals. They all broke our immigration law, and every single one of them should go home. But you can't say that in this namby-pamby society.
Low T GOP. That's amazing. That should be on a bumper sticker. Low T GOP. All right, wait. So
drives me nuts.
Eric Adams, who was just absolutely open the doors, people. Come on, let him in. Don't be so heartless. We're Americans. They always reference back to the Statue of Liberty. My grandpa came over. Both grandpas came over, passed the Statue of Liberty. They did it legally, and they didn't do it illegally. This is a different story. Boy, oh boy, Mayor Adams has changed his tune. He was totally in favor of New York City being a sanctuary city. Welcome, give us your tired, you're poor, you're hungry, all of it. Now, this made news yesterday. He said it on Wednesday. Take a listen to the New York City mayor.
Started with a madman down in Texas decided he wanted to bus people up to New York City. 110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets, give them everything they need, health care. Month after month, I stood up and I said, this is going to come to a neighborhood near you. Well, we're here. We're here. We're getting no support on this national crisis. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian-speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. Every community in this city is going to be impacted. The city we knew, we're about to lose.
That literally could have been Donald Trump. That could have been Donald Trump saying all of that. What a different message now that he's had to live the consequences, Jesse. And let me just add this to that news. Bill Malugin of Fox News now reporting, he's citing from the LA Times reporting actually, with a scoop, reporting that the Biden administration is now considering forcing some migrant families who cross the border illegally to remain in Texas, limiting their ability to travel within the U.S. as bipartisan criticism grows. This is his solution. I will appease the blue state mayors and governors by making this remain a Texas problem. F Texas.
Well, of course. And these people are so evil, Megyn, the people who run this country, that they look at everything now as simply power. Everything's about allies or enemies. So if you're the Biden administration, I'll use the administration because Joe's not actually making any decisions, as everyone knows. If you're the Biden administration, what are you? You're a bunch of commie dirtballs. Lisa Monaco, Susan Rice, Valerie Jarrett. Everybody knows the names of the real committed commies behind the scenes. So what do you want? You want to flood the country with illegal immigrants because it's going to help you break America, which you hate anyway. So you start flooding America. The red state governors actually do something smart, which is something they rarely do, and that's they send them to the sanctuary places. Now the sanctuary places freak. Well, that's not going to sway the communists from his goal. Remember, he has a goal. His goal is to burn down the country. So he's not going to stop. He's just going to stop making you have to deal with it. Let's just send all of them to my enemies so we can bankrupt the red states. That's how evil these people are. And people think I'm over the top when I say that stuff, but I'm telling you, that's how they look at the country. They look at this region and that region. That's why Joe Biden hops on a plane right away and goes and sees Maui. Still hasn't been to East Palestine. It was all about how they vote.
Look in the mirror. You see those dark spots? Well, they're not going to go away on their own. Introducing the Dark Spot Corrector from Genucel, perfect for summer. The Dark Spot Corrector, with not one but 3 cutting-edge ingredients, goes to work fast to target sunspots, dark spots, liver spots, even old discoloration both on your face and hands. Enjoy your summer sun, beach, and barbecues without embarrassing spots. With Genucel, you'll see the results or you'll get your money back. No questions asked. Go to Genucel.com right now. Get your dark spot corrector with the new Genucel Most Popular package and say goodbye to those pesky spots tomorrow. And if you're not blown away with the results, get 100% of your money back. Visit Genucel.com/MK60 right now for these amazing summer essentials and save over 70% off Genucel's Most Popular package. Don't wait. Free shipping, free returns, and the best luxury skincare you've ever used, all at 70% off. Genucel.com/MK60. That's GENUCEL.com/MK60. All orders include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.